Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Vertigo Duel between Zsadok playing as TKS, which is a lot better now. He's going up against AlbaSoulja, who's like rank 20 or something, and he's playing as Jyske, so we'll go through the deck reviews and then we'll get back to the game. Right, so this is Zsadok's deck. He's played TKS. TKS is fairly decent now because of the sorry, yeah, a bit distracted there because of the double Pioneer Flams. Pioneer Flam are completely broken. I've got a video on that. The thing that got me were these green berets. What's going on with... Right, so if it's in a Special Forces transport, it goes faster if it's at max vet, but it's not the unit, it's the transport. So there's no need to do this. It's like, oh yeah, but I mean, it's a six-man squad, so you don't want to half the availability, especially if it's not going to get there any faster. And what you can do is... sorry, that was me on Discord. I need to just click a button real quick. There we go. And yeah, so you can downvet that, and then you can get rid of this, and then you've got 2 AP. And what do you put the 2 AP on? Planes. So basically, right, the plane tab, these are basically one-way trips. In the first minute, you can buy all three and just chuck them out and hope you hit some right. But honestly, they're not that great against somebody like... If your opponent just hasn't opened with any AA, then that's going to work. But if he hasn't opened with any AA, you know, he's a bit of a dummy anyway. This you have to bring because of the long range. Haha, I drop the bomb from far away, you can't get me. I like this, so I'll show you my deck after this. It's only one per card, but it drops 2 bombs at once, so it does one-tap heavy tanks. Because the issue with this div is you just can't kill good tanks. You just cannot kill good tanks. So this can also be good, and you buy it in 2s, and you chuck both of them at them. And then, you know, as soon as it fires the missile, you just press evac. As soon as it releases the missile, you just press evac. The thing is, I bring this instead of these, because it's only 15 points more, and the purpose of it is to, you know, it hits tanks, but it flies in front of my LGBT. But yeah, this only being 1 per card is a bit of an issue, especially given the slots and stuff. So like, I don't bring this, so that I can bring the second LGBT, but this is better against infantry than this one because of the 50 cal. I don't understand why people keep bringing these. So yeah, man, it's airborne forward deployed. Wowie. I suppose it's got 5% more accuracy as well, but it's mediocre stealth, so it gets spotted and blown up. So I don't like it personally. That's a 3-pointer. This is a 1-pointer. So if you see, you still get the same amount of CVs, right? You still get the same amount of CVs if you get this, for example, and it's about the same price, or you can get the cheaper one, or you can get the other cheaper one. Which one's he gone for? This one. 10 guys, 70 points. 5 guys with AT, 45 points. It's up to you. It's up to you. But yeah, you know, if you've just got an empty slot here, then you might as well put the CV in there. You've got a card of air mobiles, that's good. And yeah, it can be whatever you want, right? You've got the Milan 1s and the Milan ATGM, Milan 2s. Yeah, cheap CVs for the start, so you can afford to bring the more expensive ones. You can bring it in a helicopter if you want. You know, whatever you want. The helicopter can be useful. So now you've got 4 AP, which is annoying because you don't really need 4 AP. These are good, but like, that's a lot of arty. I understand the idea, but that is a lot of arty in a 1v1. But they are good. I mean, we'll see how it goes for him in the game, but basically I don't do that. And then, well, now all of a sudden you've got this, like, cracked air tab, right? Because... yeah. So 4, 5, 6. And then... you know, AT plane, as we spoke about. and then the LGBT, and then you've got 1 AP left, and you know you can do what you like with that. You're gonna really struggle against Apaches. I mean, I suppose you can chuck 2 of these at it, but honestly, sometimes they just get lucky and it doesn't do anything. And these get outranged by it, and you're not going to drag the Eyehawk up, are you? So you might as well get the rolling 2s at 1 vet instead of 8 Bofors. Like, if this is just for area denial, you can have that at 1 vet. This should be at 2 vet. 20% accuracy is the sort of the golden standard, but like this is, you know, this isn't a big deal. This is, you're buying this at the start. If the enemy's got helicopters up, you really need it to hit. So, and then this is for like later on, kind of, you know, anti-helo because it's slower. So I hope that all makes sense. And you know, you could even just downvet that, because if it's just about stopping infantry from crossing a field, well, no vet will do it anyway. So, because I noticed there's no MMG team here. So yeah, 6 CVs. We've got this, we've got that. That's all good. People like these because they've got ground surveillance radar, but this has 18 AP, and this has very good optics when it stood still, because it's got the security trait. Or you can bring this if you want. Just keep in mind that this has 18 AP and high strength. Obviously it's going to lose any fight it gets into because it's militia, but yeah, just some thoughts. You don't have to copy me. I might just be wrong. His opponent's playing Jyske. We've seen a few Jyske decks on the channel. Don't bother with the counter battery radar. In 1v1, people keep saying, oh, I bring it. I'm pretty sure the people who are saying that are talking about team. Because in 1v1, you just press the counter battery button and it's going to counter battery anyway. So what the hell do you need a counter battery radar for? Which doesn't even, from the back of, if you're in the middle of Black Forest with a counter battery radar, you don't even see the arty at the other end of Black Forest. It's trash. I just don't see the point. And that's 3 AP. So, like, this is one of the best planes in the game. Right? That's got a 5 minute reload, so you don't want that. AA1, AA3. Alright, whatever. If you want, I would pay 5 points for this one, because 5 plus 5 is 10, and 5 plus 4 is not 10. So the chance of hitting twice and killing the plane, or the chance of hitting twice and not killing the plane, you could assume the Vulcan's going to do 1 damage, but in a head-on-head, I don't think it does. I might be wrong. But yeah, this thing's really good at sniping exposed targets, and you can buy it in the early game. These should probably be at max vet, because otherwise they don't hit anything. It's got 35% accuracy. And then, yeah, like you could 1-vet this if you want it to be fighting, and then you'll still have 8 infantry recon, or if you don't want that, you know, you don't need it. You don't need it to be like that. I wouldn't bother with this. It's like, oh, it shoots infantry. I understand, like, you can send it around the sides and stuff, and this also kind of is pretty good against vehicles. If you get some side shots, you can really mess people up. But, like, not having the Centurion Mark 5, does that make sense? Centurion Mark 5 is the anti-infantry one, because it's got 50 cal. So if this is I shoot infantry, we'll try this at 2 vet, and you will shoot infantry. This is also anti-infantry. And they're the same price. But yeah, the one on the left is better against tanks. The one on the right is slightly better against infantry because it shoots faster. But they both got the 50 cal, so yeah, you might want to get the one on the left, actually. But yeah, you can bring this if you want. I would recommend up 2 vetting it, though, because like, you need 12. Maybe you do. Or at least, you know, I'd 2 vet it, frankly. This is basically trading stealth for additional towage, so it can work if you have it behind the tanks. The thing is, it only fires 1, then it reloads. It's not like the one with 2 on it, the lav at or whatever. It's got some eyes on it as well. Apparently I do everything backwards now. Do you need 3 cards of supply? You don't have enough infantry. Oh, there it is. Oh, I see, because these are down-vetted. I guess you do have enough infantry, but... That's a bit of a weird one. That's the anti-tank guy. That's the anti-infantry guy. Yeah, Yagara should probably have higher availability, frankly. They're a bit weird. These guys, oh, it's only 3 dudes. Ito. You might find yourself running out of infantry. Also, I prefer the MMG teams to the 50 cal teams because it's literally half the price. So, yeah. Very rare you see somebody bring the 50 cal teams. Why have we got 3 AP spare? I don't remember. Oh yeah, because of the... No, I can't remember. Yeah, you could bring this. It is very cool at the start of the game. But that's a good plane. That's a good plane. And then I guess this, because... Yeah, I mean, the issue is you struggle against heavy tanks, right? Because your tanks don't have the range. None of them do. It's crazy how Jyske has the minimum range tanks. The mainline Danish div has the minimum range tanks, and the Reservist div has the maximum range tanks. Yeah, so you've only got 1 card of the one that actually does something. So, yeah, it's a tough div to play unless you get a map like... In fact, there's a lot of good maps for minimum range tanks now. There's been a lot of changes. But yeah, I don't know about these like no vet infantry. That, to be honest, I would... Right, so -3. These should be at 2 vet, that's the whole point of them. So 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then, you know, you can bring this if you want, because it's everything, just does everything, right? In whatever transport you want. So I got rid of 11 of your infantry and gave you back 5, so if that's like the end of the world. Although I gave you 4 more here because I got rid of that. Wow, truly I'm such a nice person. Do you need 3 cards of supply on this div? I guess you intend to arty spam. These are a little bit more survivable than these, but frankly they both die to anybody who really wants to counter battery you is going to kill you. And so I'd rather get the cheaper, more available one. Right. The other thing is, yes, the 203s are very powerful, but if this is at the back of the map on 1 vet, it tends to survive counter battery, whereas this probably won't. But if it's an MLRS, like a M270 cluster, will just kill this as soon as it shoots. So if it's been vetted by a CV, the enemy that is. So yeah, it's either or really. I mean, hang on, that's weird, right? So why are you going for this one when this one has 5 kilometers more range and is like half the price? And you're bringing the Toad stuff anyway, so you might as well bring this. Unironically, if I was making this deck, I get 2 of those at 1 vet, sack this one off, because it's like, well... I mean, it is very powerful, but yeah, you can save these for counter battery. So like, send this to the front, shoot this, have 2 of these near the back on counter battery, and then you can use this to actually hurt people while these are doing the counter battery. Anyway, let's cast the game. Right, so with that out of the way, you know how I feel about Vertigo. It's a very imbalanced map. Red is on the good side because Bravo is so much easier to defend than Alpha because there's a big flat field here. Bravo gets the hill is for falling back, the hill is for shooting out of. Also, if you just put an ATGM here, and he does get Ito, so it will have the range, you can just shoot the enemy's reinforcement road. You get to here, you can just shoot the enemy's reinforcement road. You get to here, you can't do that because of the hill. I mean, you can shoot them here, but they're already in the zone at that point. So, yeah, that's very unfair. Mid. So if blue takes mid, they can put an ATGM in there and hit this. So that blue does have that advantage. And on the right, it's very unfair for blue because if you try and spawn something here, it'll come down this road, and then red will shoot you. But actually, on here, if you get a forward deployed unit here and a forward deployed unit here, and you both go for Charlie, sadly this isn't that's not what's happening. The blue one will get there first. So that's worth knowing, actually. But yeah, it's much easier to execute from the red side. The most important part of the map's here. In terms of the divisions, Jyske is better. But TKS, so if it was urban front lines, TKS would have a huge advantage because the Pioneer Flam, and they get 2 cards, and the Funny Bomber, and you just do urban frontline things with the arty spam and so on. With it being a more open map, Jyske should have the advantage, but they've only got 2 cards of maximum range tanks. One is in the recon tab, so TKS has 1 card of maximum range tanks, and that's in the recon tab when you're looking at it. So yeah, they actually do struggle in these max range engagements. So they have to like spam TOE2s and stuff. It's very possible. But TKS's deployment is way better. As in like the opener is just way better. He's got the Helo Rush, he's got the Gazelle cannons, he's got the forward deployed AA. And so you'd expect TKS to get all the good positions. And then Jyske, if I was in Jyske's position, I'd set up here. Obviously cap this at the start. You do have a little bit of airborne forward deployment, but the point is your enemy's going to open with these Gazelle cannons. And these guys don't have AA. In fact, you suck against helicopters, as this did. So honestly, I'd like put one there. And over here, I probably wouldn't even bother putting anybody there. After the first minute, you got to put somebody there because otherwise they get all the way around and start doing stuff. And then I'd make a big push for this, take this, and then you win the game, basically. So looking at the deployments, he is going for that, and he's got the forward deployed Jagera as well. But yeah, he will struggle against helicopters and stuff at the start. So because he's only got red eyes and. He's brought them at no vet instead of max vet, so they're not going to hit anything. And these, yeah, good luck unloading that in front of a Gazelle cannon and getting it to shoot it. It's, you'll probably just shoot you before you... Oh, well, to be honest, you're outrange by 1,000 meters, so you should be alright. Switching to his opponent's deployment. If I was in Blue's case, I would take this at the start. It's very important. In fact, I'd try and take this and this. And put a guy there, and put a guy there, because you've got the better forward deployment. You should get there faster, because the Green Berets, which he hasn't brought here, even though he brought them at max vet. So, the Fallschirmjäger, right, they got 90, whereas the Green Beret car goes at 100, the Humvee. So you might think not a big deal, but no, it is... You will get here at the same time as them with a 100 one, right? Like, you'll unload there and you'll be okay. With a 91, they get there first, and you've had it. So you do have to be aware of that. We'll see how it goes. See, at least coming off the road, you should just unload. You want to just unload there, or just unload there. Well, so deployment, we got 2 F104Gs. You don't have to open with those because you've got these, and this should be at 2 vet, and that's your airborne forward deployed AA, right? And you only need 4 at the start. Maximum, so that's why you can bring him at 2 vet. And yeah, this should be a Green Berets because it'll get there faster, and it's very important because both players, everything being equal, get to this at exactly the same time. And so if yours is at 90, you're going to get there second and you're going to die because he'll be in the building and he'll blow you up with his rocket launcher. The thing is, this one goes at 100, so you'll see as the game, because they're at the same distance, going to the same place, and you'll see how much further ahead this one is, and this, and this, and this, and so on. So, yeah, then we got some Bofors, Heimat Jaeger, so just defending on Alpha, trying to take the mid, and going hard on Delta. Let's cast the game. Right, so they're off. It's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joiner in the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. He should just unload that Eyehawk he's got. He definitely sees these. He should just unload the Eyehawk and get a shot off. And then load it back up and keep moving it. He's like rank 20. He's really good. His micro's really good. I've played against him a few times. It's always a very close game. So, well, look. I mean, this, yeah, 2 fighters will beat 1 fight. Why didn't he unload this? This one-shots that. Oh, he's done it now. Well, it's too late. So, the Gazelle cannon... Whoa, it missed its first salvo. You notice this got here second. You notice this is still here, but he fucked up. He could have been in the right building, he would have killed it. What the heck? Wow. Red really could have fucked him up there, because this is 105 points. So it's sort of a big deal if you kill it in the transport. And it's the same with this one, he just didn't... Well, okay, he had to unload that because the Gazelle cannon was shooting at him. Here he was actually in that building before the Gazelle cannon got in. So... Yeah, I mean, Red's buying too many planes. Because like, he's lost 2 fighters now, and he lost his SEP guys. So you basically, you really don't want to... And he's going to lose his CV. Against TKS, you just don't rush. Right? You got to play for the late game against TKS. Is this going to... He's given it a move order instead of attack move. That's a shame. It would have got a shot off there and it could have killed that. Because it's really close. It's got high accuracy and it'll one-shot it. So it could have got an 95 point unit there. Or it could have missed. But chances are it would have hit. And he also didn't cap hotel. With it, he had a CV there. Did it just drive straight past it? Looking at the planes too much, right? Because you see people... Well, I mean, that just shouldn't have happened, but I don't think he can actually... No, he could see that. So yeah, he didn't react there, so that died. Blue needs to buy an Eyehawk. Let's put it like there, because Red just constantly has a fighter up there. I mean, it's... Like, you... Why? To kill the 40 point... whatever. It's not helping you at all. Neither player should have had fighters out there. Although, well, so Red could have opened fighter to kill the Gazelle cannons, right? And that makes sense, and that's what he did. But then Blue opened fighters to kill Red's opening fighter. And so basically, he should have expected that to happen. And as a result, he should not have opened fighter. Because like, it's easy for us to just sit here and say that, right? But you just got to think through the decision tree of possibilities, right? If you buy a 200 point fighter, right, yeah, so the Bofors work if you just fly into them and die. But if you land, or just fly away as soon as you see it, you should be okay. And as you play more, you get an idea for the ranges. So now that he's lost, like he's lost a load of ground, he's not got a front line. There's nobody here. He's now bought a big artillery piece. So yeah, planes and fighters, man, planes and fighters. If you just buy loads of planes and fighters, and your opponent buys ground stuff, you're just gonna lose. So yeah, what you should have done is opened 2 Eyehawks. And just forward deployed into here to make sure they don't get in here, right? Get the Bofors down the road and so on. Those Jagera guys, sorry, the Seps have smoke. So if the Gazelle cannon just YOLO straight in here and your Sep guys here, you unload, throw the smoke on yourself. Easier said than done, right? And then you get a bunch of tanks out. And the idea against TKS is that TKS's late game isn't that great, especially in the open. The whole point behind TKS is it's really good in towns and stuff. And so you'd take this and then you'd come take this. And he's, to be honest, he's done it. He has accomplished that objective. This is intelligent. But yeah, these should be at 2 there. Honestly, it helps a lot. And you don't need that many. So far, he's only bought 4. So you don't need to bet it. So yeah, if you're red, you want to take this. And then once you take this, you go for this. And if you've got this square here, you basically own this zone. You don't even need this. It's nice to have, but you don't even need it. Because if you just put an ATGM in here, they can't come down this road. And you already start with the ability to... It's obviously not very fair, is it? You can cut this road off and you can cut this road off. So they have to start stopping here and then moving, or stopping here and then moving across the field. It slows them down. It takes a lot of effort. And so if you're red, yeah, you get the open 2 Eyehawks instead of 1 because of the F-104Gs. Sack off the fighter because you're not winning that fight anyway. They've got forward deployed AA. right? They've got airborne forward deployment with forward deployed AA, so you just can't do anything about that. It's pointless to try. And then at that point, your enemies spent 200 points on fighters that do nothing because they have nothing to shoot. And you have spent 200 points on Eyehawks, which shoot the enemy fighters, which can't shoot back, and will shoot the bombers, and will be useful for the rest of the game. In an active sense, right? I mean, I appreciate if you buy a fighter and it doesn't die, you can use it for the rest of the game. And then you would, yeah, if you're red, you push this, sort that out, and then you make this leap here, and then you just push across, and you've won. You've taken this zone, right? The alternative is you come over this way, because like he's got this, but he's not got anybody in. He needs to get an ATGM in there or something. I appreciate he's got the tanks, but he needs to smoke them. Like, so the advantage of these tanks is the range over TKS. The only thing that can shoot them on TKS is the AMX-10 RC in terms of range. I mean, I know you've got ATGMs, so yeah, he's just being a bit sloppy there. Whoa, that was is that the big one? Either way, it's better to not lose these. But yeah, I mean, so he's just bought a bunch of arty and a bunch of planes, and that's a really, really good way to throw a game. Buy a bunch of arty and a bunch of planes, and your opponent's like, I'm buying ground stuff, and he, well, he has bought some planes. And look at this. So, oh no, this is revealing. Well, that's not good. Oh, he knows. He knows. He knows. He needs to deploy this right now and go kill that arty. He needs to go kill that arty. Whoa, mate. He's fucked that up. Could have switched it off or something. It's obviously way easier said than done. But the point of this is to kill the arty, right? Because it's low availability, it's 2 per card. These are 12 per card, so they don't matter. These are 4 per card, or maybe 3. No, it should be 4, because it's a 81mm. So you should be going for the arty. The arty's just fired, so he knows where it is, but he's just sitting. But yeah, blue's definitely in the better position here. Not only is he in a +2, he's just taken mid. And that's because of this. Imagine if he hadn't bought like 4 fighters and 2 arty, and instead he'd bought a bunch of ground stuff. Well, he wouldn't have lost here. The arty takes time to pay off. The planes are a gamble. You'll be surprised at how many games you just throw by buying a plane. Because like 3 to 4 minutes later, on the front line, the enemy just beats you because he's got 2 extra medium tanks, or 3 extra light tanks, or 6, 3 IFVs plus 3 infantry, so 6 extra units, or 1 extra heavy tank, and he just wins the fight in the mid, and then you lose the position. And meanwhile, you've got an arty piece that's going to take about 10 minutes to pay for itself. I've lost loads of games like that. I don't act like I'm somehow better than it. The reason I know it's a bad idea is because I do it on a daily basis. So, yeah, I'm really surprised he's just not going for this arty. It's a bit strange. So, yeah, basically, Alba's units... Oh, he's bought the wrong one. There it is. This shoots at the max range. This does not. And essentially, it's about mid. This middle point is extremely important. It is the most important point on the map. But it's not got a big zone on it, so people don't know. I mean, these guys both seem to know, right? They're doing it. They're putting most of their effort into fighting for it. So this is doing really well. He's getting loads of kills with it. I'm surprised Alba bought 3 Fenix and 2 Recon Healers to deal with it, given that he knew there was AA there, because that's what alerted him to it in the first place. AA shot his plane. So really, he should have gone ground-based stuff, or Recon Helo Bomber. But that's very expensive. It's better to go ground-based stuff. But yeah, raiding's a big part of the game, and if you don't do it, you're a silly Billy. There's a lot of... I mean, this guy raids as well, so I'm not saying this is him. But there's a lot of people who are like, it's not fair, it's scummy. It's like, what? If you played like a proper RTS like Age of Empires, raiding is like half the game, because well, you got to kill your enemy villages so they don't gather the berry bush, right? So he's going deep on this. Wasn't there an Eyehawk here? Or, I guess he must have killed it, so he knows he can fly over. Um, yeah. Did he get the arty? What the heck? How did I miss that? Well, good. No, he didn't. So yeah, the prize is the arty, and it's easy to be like, oh, he could go down there and get it, but he can't see any of this, so he doesn't know, right? He doesn't know what he doesn't know. But yeah, generally you'd expect Red to have a better time here. Not only is he on the better side, but he's also got the better div, in my opinion. You just have to respect the TKS opener. So many people just don't respect it. Just concede the ground at the start. It's a lot better than conceding the ground anyway and losing 3 fighters trying to keep the air superiority and losing all your units on the ground and still losing the ground. Because that's what happened. So don't see it as I have to try. No, your choice is lose hard or lose some ground and keep your entire army alive and push them out. So, go for option 2. But once again, this is that's a very good hit. That's an 85-point unit. I'm not sure. Oh, because he's got ground surveillance radar, he sees it, and the enemy doesn't see it. Oh, well, he's got ground surveillance radar as well. It's just he can't see him because of the buildings. Yeah. So, has he rebought the Eyehawks? Yes, he has. You need those Eyehawks. And, so TKS has really good infantry, and your tanks have longer range. Going for the mortars was smart, because 1, it can't move. If it's firing, it can't move, because it has to set up. And 2, then he stops smoking you, so that's important. But yeah, you have the range advantage, so why are you smoking? And also TKS has really good infantry, but he's attacking in the wrong place. He should take this. So that's a rough loss. But yeah, I think Zsadok's doing everything right here. Like, so you don't just have the tank on the... Obviously there's smoke covering this, but you don't just have the tank here. Have you noticed he's put them in the back of the forest? Because he knows they only have the minimum range. And so if you put it here, well, they just shoot you from back here and you can't even shoot back. Oh, well, you can shoot back a little bit. Like, you'll be in range, but you won't do anything because your pen's low and so on. And so he has it, like, there. That's where he had it, right? So that he can, kill these guys and not get hit by all this. So that's the idea, anyway. Force the enemy to come closer. In the meantime, you've got high-mat whatevers here. Does TKS get Jaguars? No, it gets some Milanos, right? Yeah, these only have mediocre stealth, but basically you'd having these here is very smart, and you can also put an ATGM there because it can shoot all the way out, right? Depending on what it is. But also, if he has artillery, he shouldn't be hitting this because it's got its engine destroyed, so it can't move. But looks like Red's just brute forcing it. I mean, his tanks are better. They cost more, but they're better. Yeah. But yeah, like buying 4 mortars and 2 howitzers and 4 jets, and your opponent just sort of doesn't. I mean, yeah, he's bought these now, but... And that makes sense because the enemy's overextended a little bit. And yeah, if this had been unloaded, you'd expect him to lose one there. Oh, well, there you go. If it had been unloaded, this one would have died as well. So, micro mistake from Alba. But yeah, he's... Because blue has this flank, so he's just going to constantly shoot you in the side. So this is just not how you attack here. You just don't do it. You attack from here to there. So you have to unload your infantry early. Like, you get one of those engineers, right? So that's 2 of TKS's very good bombers dead. I mean, are they very good bombers? They are in terms of like price to performance and so on, but they die easy to Eyehawk, so they're not, they're easy to counter if you've got the right tool, which he does have in this case. Sometimes you don't have long range AA, and then it's a lot harder. So basically, he just shouldn't be attacking here. Because, yeah, he's eventually killed it all, but how much damage was done? So, Yeah, I mean, I saw that Fennec before when I looked back. I assume, so far it's managed to kill 3 units, and he just doesn't seem to know about it. He's just flying straight past it. If you see that happening, you just buy the flipping VLRA 20 or the Bofors. But yeah, I don't know. He just doesn't. It's literally used all its ammo, and now it's going back to base. Yeah, you got to pay attention, man. So, you know, this is sort of doing the same thing on the back line. But, like, he definitely, like, he has the tools to kill that. He's got loads of fighters. He's got the recon helos, so he can see it. He's got ground-based AA. But he just didn't notice he lost all his units there. And one of them was... Well, they were all pretty good units. Like, these aren't cheap. So, he went for the CV. For whatever reason, this is loaded up again. And this one's out of ammo, so he gets away with that. If you're TKS at this point, you want to buy an RT for counter battery, a 155 for counter battery, because you can't just let him smoke like this. But look, he's doing the right thing now, after exhausting all other options. Well, that's not true. He didn't attack here, but yeah, he's realised, oh yeah, well if I take this, then I won't get shot in the side, right? So yeah, you take this, and then you put ATGMs in here, and you clear this out, and then you push across. And if you're blue, you want to take this, and then you can either use it to attack over here, or you can use it to take these, if you don't already have them, right? Because if you get, you know, if you've got guys here, then you can, it's slightly easier to take this from the front, although this will still shoot you, but if you got recon there, you'll see it, and so on. But yeah, it's very important that red takes this, and it's very important that blue doesn't lose it, because if blue loses this, he loses that, and then he loses this zone. And then he generally loses the game because his front line's going to look like this, and his opponent's just going to have a big blob of units in the mid that he could just chuck in any direction he wants. So, yeah, a bit of a... So, like, no anti-tank here. Don't just buy 4 of 1 unit. But I think Zsadok's reacting more or less appropriately to this. He doesn't have the Roland 2s, which we spoke about. They'd be really useful in this kind of situation, but yeah, he's trying not to lose this because he understands how important it is. This is cool, how he snuck up this way. He does need to try and get some AA up there. Like, if you can put an Eyehawk there, that would be golden, because it's going to cover... If they come over here, they're still going to get hit by this Eyehawk. Obviously, that's kind of expensive. Maybe put it there or something, but... So he's trying to get around the AA so he can hit him in the back. Looks like Zsadok's realised, and now he's forgotten because he didn't. He's not actually given this an order. It's just flying around in circles. It's flying around in circles, and yeah, because look, it's not been given an order, but it's just sort of doing its thing there. He got away. That's a shame. He could have killed a fighter there. At least his bomber got, and then this one as well. Like, he probably could have killed both of them there. At least his bomber got out. But yeah, I mean, Red's taken this now, and now he needs to sort this out. Because yeah, if you look in here, then you should be able to just punch across without getting shot in the side. Sort of a big point. But yeah, you only get 3 of these on TKS. And frankly, he's done a very, very good job with them. Or at least this one has killed so many things, it's unreal. So Mallet, remember Mallet. Honestly, remember this is a zone now. I'd be tempted to just chuck that over. Oh, well, you've got the recon one. I'd just send that in. What's there? Check it out. I guess he's not got any empty transports or anything to chuck in. See what's there. Because, yeah, that's a zone. And that's 25 points. Good optics, good stealth. It's literally useful for nothing else. So, oh, he's doing it! But yeah, just constantly conga lining down the down Death Alley basically. So many people have died here. It's just very unfortunate. But then again, Blue hasn't actually put any infantry in here. He's got loads of tanks and ATGMs, but he's only got 1.5 infantry here. And this guy's just going to immediately get suppressed to death. So yeah, he just sort of forgot to put more infantry in there. He's still keeping this bad boy alive. Sadly, the AA's made it now. But you saw, like, if he'd been a bit faster, he would have just taken that. Although this is still sort of monging out. Can he see? If this is in range, you need to right-click that AA before it kills you. It's just automatic, so it's going for the CV. Because it perceives the CV as a more important target, but obviously this is what's going to kill it, so... Although this also has AA, it's very bad AA. So, sending the Leopard 5s in front of the infantry, he was basically... You know, the infantry was coming, but... Yeah, if he just waited a few seconds, then these guys would have made it in first, unload in good order, get in there, not lose 4 Leopards. Or whatever. That's, yeah, if it was at 2 vet, it might have killed one of those. It probably still would have died against 2, but... Ah, he's got the Eye Hawk up. Ah, you want it in the forest, you don't want it in the open. You can even put it there if you want, but you want it, like, here, because then guys here can't shoot you. Right? It will get in, but surely it just immediately dies. And I guess he's trying to avoid these. They've actually run out of ammo, and they would still be able to shoot him if they had ammo. Over here, we've got the close-range mortars, and yeah, red's finally made it in. But blue, you know, he's still got this, so he can, you know, send them across and so on and so on. So this doesn't have smoke. I mean, it's basically just not going to make it. It's, yeah, I mean, I understand, oh, well, I'm here now, but... I mean, you just like walk into people and die. You gotta learn when to cut your losses, basically. These one-shot those every TKS vehicle, which is pretty important. And yeah, there's only one Leopard 185 here because he took too long to. And now it's dead because it was actually shooting at this. But even if it had hit this, this would be dead, but Dark Leopard 1 still would be dead because of the short order there. So, yeah, blue, he's accomplished something here, even if you don't get in the zone. Because obviously he doesn't really see much of this. He'll just see the front couple of units maybe, but basically, like, look how many minutes of income. He's repositioning stuff, that's smart. Look how many minutes of income have been spent just defending this zone, and if he hadn't attacked it, nothing would have been spent there. Maybe 1 or 2 units. And so, now you go take mid back. You need mid a lot. And this should be here, so that it can shoot across. You could put this in there, maybe, because then it can shoot across and it's in cover. Oh, he's going for the Eye Hawk. Okay. I was going to say he should bomb this, but even if he'd gone for this, these both would have got 1 shot off each. So I think it still would have been better to go for the Eye Hawk. He's doubling down on this. I mean, he should have known about this both, or... But I guess these have just showed up. Yeah, I honestly, imagine if all 4 of these were unloaded here. Well, I suppose these would probably kill you. This is a very strong unit. But the idea is you could have taken mid back. So, yeah, I mean, it just comes down to, like, if you play bazillion games, then you start to understand better this attack hasn't worked before everybody dies. And then you go do something else and cut your losses and, you know, even reposition most of the guys that were there and just leave a few defenders. Because, yeah, I mean, he's desperately trying... That's just not going to work. Is he still committing to this? He is. Like, look how long it takes. It's going to take 3 to 4 times longer to get there. 3 times longer. Right? Than it is for your enemy to get there. So yeah, if you do an extension like this, and yeah, it doesn't work out, just immediately use that to, because he got some very nice positions like here, basically. And so he can see the reinforcement to this. And then you can just say, okay, that didn't work, and then just swing everybody in here and take this. Or, like, so all these units that have dropped off there. So 4 air mobiles, all these guys, the tank CV, there's a couple other things. Like, imagine if all of these, he just says, okay, let's unload here and just push this way and take this back. You'd take it, right? You'd have 2 extra cargo staffs with the Pioneer Flam. What's there to stop him? There's no tanks, because he killed them all. And in the meantime, the enemy's kind of bogged down in this area while you're sort of taking your zone back. But it's hard, because, you know, the reason we know the attack's not going to work is because we can see everything. And you see, so Red's making the right call here attacking this. Because he's like, well, the enemy's just wasted all his time. Like, this is such a big waste of points. Like, this will accomplish something in 30 minutes, basically. So, if I just cut this, well, then he can't reinforce that. Having said that, I mean, somehow he's made it in, because his opponent just stopped buying reinforcements. Okay. He still could have sorted it, I think. Like, look, the KD was really close, but... Yeah, interesting. It was surprising to see TKS win. Because on Vertigo, it's very, very difficult for TKS, especially against an iHawk div. Anyway, rank 176 versus rank 25. And yeah, it was a surrender, not a disconnect. So yeah, it was a very, very interesting game. I hope you learned something. Yeah, take that middle point, very important, because it allows you to branch out to anywhere. So, and then, you know, it just gives you side shots on everybody. So, yeah, I hope you learned something. I'll see you around, GG.